This is Martin Giles, the Guildford Dragon News, and I'm pleased to welcome back to the Guildford Dragon here at the County Club the new Mayor of Guildford, Howard Smith. Howard, thanks for coming and agreeing to do this interview with us.
Pleasure, Martin. Good morning.
And first of all, many congratulations on taking on the Mayor's role.
Thank you.
So, you are a Guildford boy.
Yes.
It must make you proud now to be the Mayor of Guildford, I suppose.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, that was one of my motivations for putting my hand up when they were looking for nominations to, well, first of all, be Deputy Mayor and then obviously become Mayor after that. I mean, why wouldn't you want to be Mayor of your hometown? It's
exactly.
a great honour and a great privilege.
And you are a true Guildfordonian. You were born here, went
Yes.
to school here,
Yes.
and you spent most of your life here.
Born in the Jarvis and Stoughton Road a few years ago, and went to school, went to George Abbott, and my family are here, so very much a Guildford person.
Okay, so why, I mean, obviously it's made you proud, but when the option was there, what made you think, yeah, I'll go for that?
I think it was partly that. It's also that observing the previous mayors while I've been a councillor, I can see that it helps to, in some ways, raise the profile of Guildford. It has a kind of ambassadorial role, I guess. Anything that sort of helps to promote the town is great in my view. And also the fundraising activities that the Mayor takes part in as well. It's an opportunity to raise some money for some good causes, and I'm very much looking forward to doing that as well.
But you can share it with the dragon. Wasn't the real attraction the robe and the bicorn hat and the chain?
Not so much. I'm fine with the chain, not so keen on the robes. Of course, Sally was very fond of the robes, and she was a brilliant mayor and a tough act to follow. But obviously, in the ceremonial opportunities that I've had, I'm happy to wear it.
Well, I'm very disappointed you haven't got at least the hat on for the interview, but never mind. We'll leave it there. Now, a lot of the headlines around your appointment as mayor have been around your background as a rock star. And that was with the Vapors back in the 80s. So tell us a bit about that. So tell us something, if you can, that we don't know, or something, an amusing anecdote.
Well, I mean, I decided when I was about 15 that I wanted to be in a band, and having watched Top of the Pops and all the rest of it, very much interested in going that way, and started my first band at George Abbott School.
Right.
And we used to rehearse in the sixth form block there.
They were called?
I think there was something dreadful like Smart Alec or something like that. And then I met up with the sort of band formed and then changed line-up.
So how did they form?
One of the reasons I became a drummer is because I wanted to join and be part of sort of what I thought would be the cool kids in a band. But it was too late to become a guitarist because there were so many guitarists. So I thought, how can I do this? So there was going to be a shortage of drummers. So okay, well if I sort of learn to play the drums, maybe I can get into one of these school bands. So that's what happened. I bought my first drum kit. I bought at Jacob's Well Village Jumble Sale. Dragged it back to the house and started teaching myself how to play drums from that. And then it sort of went through various lineups of George Abbott school bands. Then I met my good friend Ed Bazalgette, who was at Larch Avenue. And we teamed up and went through various lineups, and then eventually we sort of settled on the Vapors lineup, and it sort of kicked off from there.
Okay, and how did you find when you did get that hit? How did you find dealing with the limelight? Did you like it?
Well, I was 19, going on 20 when we first got involved in that, and I don't know. I think looking back on it, seems so young to be experiencing that.
Yeah.
Signing a recording contract when you just turned 19. And then, of course, we had tours in America and things like that. It was you just get swept up in a whirlwind of everything.
But did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely. I think, as with most bands, though, you spend so much time in each other's pockets, it does start to wear a bit thin and everything. So the band only lasts about 3 years or something like that. But it was fantastic, and it achieved the things that I wanted to do in terms of making records and being on Top of the Pops and a John Peel session and touring and things like that. So,
but you didn't want to continue with that after the 3 years. You didn't want to go into another band. Or
That's right. Yeah, I kind of realised that it's a bit of a lottery. You have to be in the right place at the right time. The chances of being in the right place at the right time twice was seemed unlikely, and so I kind of moved on, and I moved to London and got into working for a music company, and I was very happy with doing that.
Okay, so let's come back to your role as the Guildford's mayor.
Mm-hmm.
What are your aims for this mayoral year?
Well, the first thing is to represent the town in as many events as I possibly can, and it's been a sort of a good start. There's been lots of things, even we're only less than 2 weeks in now. There's been lots of events that I've attended, just to help raise the profile as mayors do and fulfil that role. We've chosen 3 charities that we're supporting this year, and so we're already looking at ways that we can do some fundraising events to raise some money for those charities.
And those charities are?
Phyllis Tuckwell, the Cheryl King Trust, which is a charity that supports kids to learn a musical instrument.
Oh, right, so that's reflects your ambition when you were younger.
Very much based on my background in music, and also the outreach work that the Guildford Shakespeare do as well. So so we're working.
Guildford Shakespeare Company, big success in Guildford, and do great work on that side, don't they?
They do, and perhaps the sort of charity work side of things is less well known. So we hope to promote that too. So looking forward, and I think with them and the other charities, I'm hoping we'll get some really good fun events during the course of the year.
Now the system at Guildford is, before you become mayor, you do a year sort of not exactly on probation, but you do a year apprenticeship, if you like, as deputy mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that useful?
Very useful. Yeah, I think if you were thrown into the deep end right without that, I think it would be quite a challenge. But
why is that?
Because there are just a lot of events. Obviously, clearly, you're asked to make speeches and things like that. So it's good to sort of have that year of apprenticeship, just to sort of get used to it, learn the ropes, and so you're prepared as you can be for when you take over for the full role as mayor.
And when you do have strong views, political views. So is it frustrating when you're writing a mayoral speech to sort of keep the lid on those?
I don't think so. I mean, most of the mayoral events are apolitical. Yeah. So this is a different side to things, really. This is a different side to being a councillor, being mayor, and it's really to promote the town and promote the people within it. And I am finding it quite easy to separate those two things.
Okay, and looking back on your year as deputy mayor, is there a couple of highlights that stand out, or a couple of things that went wrong, maybe, or what stands out from that year?
There was a Nepalese community event. It was one of the first things I did on a field over in Ripley, which was set up it was almost like a music festival with a stage and food and everything. It was a beautiful sunny day, and it was a sort of nationwide thing, and that was fascinating. That was like stepping into a different world. Really, really wonderful.
And they're associated with the Gurkha regiments, no?
Correct. Yeah, because there is a community here in close by. So that was fascinating, and sitting next to the Nepalese ambassador to the UK, it was quite a baptism, that one.
How? Because I've worked with Gurkhas when I was in the army, and I remember they used to sit on the floor to eat. Mm-hmm. Was that there or not?
No, I didn't see that, but there was a lot of music and food and dancing and everything, and it was a wonderful event. And that was literally the first weekend when I became deputy mayor, and that was wow. This is going to be quite a year. So.
And how has your wife adapted to being the wife of the mayor and your consort, or the lady mayor? Yes, is that right?
Yeah. She's cool with it, and obviously we've got 2 young children as well, so they get pulled into these things as well. And I think so far so good.
They've all adapted.
I think so. Yes. I mean, this is the full-on year, obviously, being mayor rather than being deputy mayor. I think
because their support must be important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's important that they enjoy it too, and so far they are enjoying it. And
okay, so you've been mayor now for 2 or 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks tomorrow. Mm-hmm. What's happened so far?
Well, it was. It sort of got. We got the day after the mayor making, of course, was VE80. So we were here at 8:30. Straight in with the flag raising. and various events associated with that. And then we had a small delegation from Freiburg, who we're twinned with in Germany, and they came over on the Friday. We had the VE80 service on the Sunday. It's been pretty much non-stop these last 2 weeks, but very enjoyable. And the great thing is that you feel as a Guildfordian, you feel you know Guildford pretty well. You know, I've been here a long time, but you find out, one of the delights of being mayor is that you find out so many things about Guildford that you didn't know. And you meet so many wonderful people who are involved in charities, for example, or people at schools and all the rest of it. It really is sort of heartwarming to realise there are so many great people in Guildford all contributing to the community.
And really interesting, I imagine, because you're going in through doors that normally wouldn't be open to you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a real insight into Guildford, and I think when my year is done, I will know a lot more about Guildford, much to my surprise in a way that I didn't know before, and that's a real bonus of being mayor.
Now, there is a serious side to being mayor as well, because you chair the council meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You've already done a few of those when you've been substituting as you were deputy mayor.
Mm.
How do you find that?
Well, it can be a little nerve-wracking. Obviously, the mayor as chair, it's scripted, so you pretty much know what you're going to say. But there are things that happen that mean you have to go one way or the other depending on votes, and that can be a little tricky. But at the same time that it's tricky, it's also quite a thrill to be there, because you know you're sort of on the spot. You've got to remain calm and do the best you can. But I did 2 as deputy mayor when sadly the previous mayor couldn't do it, and I've done 2 since in the last 2 weeks. And hopefully I'm getting better at it, but that will be fun to judge.
You've got council officers there to advise you on the protocols and the rules.
Exactly.
So they keep you right, I guess.
Absolutely, you're not on your own. You've got a lot of support there. So.
And have you had any necessity to sort of keep order in any of those meetings so far? Because I have been to some council meetings where there has been an issue.
I used the gavel once when we took a break and we were coming back, and there was a lot of chatter. And they said, go on, hit the gavel, get them to shush and restart the meeting. So I had the opportunity to do that. But no, I think the meetings so far have been very well behaved, which is great.
Okay. Well, Howard Smith, Mayor of Guildford, thank you very much for giving the time to the Guildford Dragon, and good luck for your mayoral year.
Thank you, Martin. It's been a pleasure.